Also, as you and I have discussed other times, the tighter we're making houses, the more energy efficient they are. Fantastic, but we do have to remember to ventilate properly. If the walls aren't naturally breathing for us as they used to do in very leaky homes, then we need to be, measuring and deciding how much air to bring in and how to make up that air, because otherwise we could be trapping people with pollutants. So that's a nice thing to be reminded of as we're talking about, this great window technology. The tighter your windows, the more it becomes increasingly. The more we're insulating, the more we're sealing up these homes. That's fantastic for energy, but we need to keep air quality and our health in mind too, and make sure that we have enough fresh air coming in.
Yeah, but if it's nice outside, I mean, these engineers work really hard to make sure these things can operate. It's okay to open a window. Don't be afraid of the outside. So, I mean, people ride their bikes, they run and stuff like that. It's like, I don't want to open my windows to let all that. It's like, you're outside 8 hours today, you're fine. And typically, if it feels nice outside and you're comfortable breathing the air outside, you don't have to necessarily worry about dew point, humidity, relative humidity, temperature. If it feels good outside and the air smells clean, you can look at the Weather Channel if you want to, but that's a good time to be able to open the windows, get some fresh ventilation in there. Like this last weekend, I opened up our basement while we're doing some work down there. And, it's nice to have that fresh air in that space while we're doing the work, because it was nice out.
PSA for Matt Hoots. Don't forget, as long as your air quality is okay out there, and then of course forgetting also, as long as you don't have allergies that are particularly at risk right now, and as long as it's nice out and the air quality is good, don't forget to open your window. We don't, when we talk about building science, I don't think I've heard that too many times. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's okay to, but here's the thing. Even in some of these polluted areas, like in our house, this was accidental. I was looking for a particular adhesive for drywall. They didn't have it in stock at our local big box store. I'm going to do another video on this on how to source it. So I just grabbed one off the shelf. I was like, hey, I thought it had the Green Guard logo on it. It didn't. It was on the box next to it. I used it in the house, not realizing. I was like, man, this is really potent. It's like, I don't remember this being that potent. Well, even with us opening the windows and doors, it was still super toxic in there. And then I looked at it and it's like, oh, I've heard of low VOC, but apparently something called max VOC too. There's actually, this is like the max. So I used something that had the maximum, and you can still hear that I'm a little bit congested. I was congested for a week as a result of that. So that was with the bath fan on running in that particular space. So windows and doors, even though you've got pollution on the outside, in that case, the outside was actually cleaner air than the inside, because us as humans, we're the number one source of pollutants inside the house. So of course we pollute outside, but nature does its job too on the outside. You do have humidity, you have mold, you have pollen and whatnot on the outside, but for the most part, indoor air quality is usually worse, according to the EPA, than the outside. So unless you're in a big city or near a high industrial zone or near a traffic center, it's usually pretty safe to open up your windows and let some fresh air in.
A good reminder, Matt, also to check your materials. You go through all this effort to buy a high efficiency product that you think is going to, protect your family and also be sustainable, less impactful, and then find out. I haven't heard the term max VOC before, so we'll give credit for
neither have I.
But health is important. If we're focusing on it so much in one sphere, let's not forget. You did check. It's just they got you with the box next to the original box.
Yeah, that was on me though, and I knew better. And then of course my family's affected, I'm affected, and I just felt like, I mean, most people wouldn't know the difference though. When they buy something at a big box store, they assume that everything's healthy there because it's at a big box store. It's like, why would these people hurt us? But it's like, well, that's the material that's there. So, and I even asked, because I happen to know what are the people that help source it. It's like, hey, what's going on here? It's like, well, in California it's required, but it's not here. It's like, well, maybe we just need to step it up across the nation. And there's really no reason we should use max VOC anything and be able to buy that at a paint department, because that's just not good for you.
No, we should be able to trust where we're shopping, and they should be doing better and better all the time without us having to ask. But thank you for reminding me too. That's the reason we're doing this educating, to help people learn how to ask the right questions and what they should be looking for. If you smell, what do we say? If you smell something, then something is probably wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the same thing with the windows, like the windows and doors. Just because you buy a good brand doesn't mean you're getting the best specifications. So the brand doesn't necessarily determine, because we talked about the U value. We talked about the solar heat gain coefficient. We also talked about the installation, the air infiltration as a result of that. So you need to make sure you've got the right specifications on there, that it's code compliant and also designed for your house. So when people, they're like, hey, I've got a whatever, insert here, name brand window, it's going to be great. It's like, you've got the wrong solar heat gain coefficient. So I actually had a European window sent to us, and I asked the dealer, and this is for, like, we didn't order the windows, the client had already ordered the windows because they're from Europe. They're like, hey, these are great. We're like, these aren't going to work here because these aren't code compliant. It's like, well, these are passive house rated. I'm like, yeah, passive house in a different climate zone on a different continent, and you tell me they're passive house rated. That's just absurd. And so he wanted to argue with me. I was like, you know what? I just, told the homeowner about it. That, and also just having some flashing issues. I do have some PTSD with European windows, but I also have found some manufacturers. This is made in the USA. It's a European brand made in Mississippi, so I don't have to worry about, but it's also made for Americans, designed for our climate zones, but also with the types of flashing details that I need to go into wood frame construction. So don't assume that it's a certain type of window or door, it's going to work great. It has to be designed for your house, specifications, glass, flashing, all, the whole nine.
Thanks, Matt. There's a lot of great information here. I think that will really help people as they think about their windows, actually, as they think about their whole home and their design and energy and health and comfort goals. I wish we'd had this conversation before I replaced my own windows, but I hope I know this information will help a lot of other people out there, and certainly including our members. So thank you very much.
Hey, not a problem. And the good news is we've talked to lots of different window manufacturers, so we have a full playlist, not only this video, if you want to make sure that you have all the questions answered regarding to these windows, but also other windows in the past. We're going to have 10 to 20 videos in that playlist, so make sure you hit that playlist over there, hit the like and subscribe button so you can get more great content just like this.